Okay team, today we are going to be doing this makeup look. I had so many requests for lots of tips, lots of tricks, easy makeup, quick makeup, fresh makeup, summer makeup, wedding guest makeup, and I feel like what we've created here ticks all of those boxes. So I'm going to take you through from start to finish how to achieve this look and how to also, more importantly, adapt it to you, your style, everything that you like about wearing makeup. Okay, so we're gonna go from the beginning. Everybody always asks, what's the best foundation? What's the best this? What's the best that? We gotta start with the skincare, babes, okay? I'm using these Rare Beauty Comfort Eye Patches. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, they feel so lovely and cool. You're gonna have to excuse my hair because I'm just trying to make it dry naturally. Also, I had a lot of requests for different makeup looks, but the most highly requested was a summer easy everyday, focusing on tips, tricks, etc, 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 etc. We'll combine the two and we'll do a really easy everyday quick summer look, and I will teach you tips along the way so that if you wish to intensify or make the look heavier at your pleasure, you can do that. So whilst my patches are on, we're going to start with brows. Now I'll be honest, this product isn't the best product for the way I do my brows, but I am trying to like use up what I've got at the moment, and this is still very full. What I would probably choose to use for this type of brow styling is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, what's it called? It's in like a clear pot. That's what I would probably choose to use. I start off by running the product through my brows and then brushing it against the direction of hair growth. The spoolie is not playing game today. And then I go back over them and brush them up into place. And the reason why this probably isn't one of my favourite brow gels is because although it doesn't move, the gel leaves a little bit of a white cast on your skin. So you've got to really make sure that you thoroughly remove that. I need to find another spoolie, this is not doing. And then I normally get the back end of a brush or the spoolie stick and just flatten them down first with the brush, and then secondly with the back of my finger. I normally use the back of my finger in case I'm going to use my finger for like any other part of the makeup and I don't really want like gel on there, you know. Eyebrows are such a personal thing and everybody likes them really different. I have so much hair on my brows that I do like to shape them into like a natural uplifted way, and I need them to stay because otherwise when they just fall flat I feel like it totally changes my face shape. And you could do this even if you have much more sparse hair growth, and then what I would do is get a brush like this where you've got that sharp edge, paste the product on the back of your hand. Like the Anastasia dip brow pomades are incredible as well, you can get them in loads of different colours. Paste them like that so you get a really sharp edge and you use the brush to just press in what a hair strip would look like. So for instance, you can see with my brows I have like a little bit of a gap under here compared to there, so I could, you know, then get one of those gels and just sort of like fill in that. But because this is a super natural look today and like a quick and easy, I'm not going to worry too much. Oh gosh, these feel delicious. By the way, these are the Rare Beauty Hydrating Under Eye Patches. Really, really love. Obviously, of course, I will link everything down below and you can shop via my affiliate links, which basically means if you are wanting to purchase any of these products and you click on that link, I get a small percentage of the sale. You pay no extra. In fact, I always make sure that I look for the cheapest deals of every product. It just massively helps me out. Even the fact you clicking on links massively helps me out. Okay, I think we'll take these off. Oh gosh, they feel delicious. And then we're going to go in with skincare. So I normally just cleanse my skin in the shower in the morning, and then I'm using the Ren, I'm sure you have all heard of this a million times, the Ren Ready Steady Glow Daily AHA Tonic. This is a really lovely like pre-makeup base in my opinion. I feel like it really gets rid of all the dead skin cells on the top layer of my skin and provides like a really gorgeous base layer for fresh, flawless skin to go on top. Now, I have a really peculiar way of doing makeup and it depends on the look, but more often than not, I'll actually prep my skin and then go straight to eyes, finish my skin, finish my eyes, finish with lips. But for this sort of look, we're going to focus on the skin more than anything and watch everything else come together after that. So wait for that to dry. It's really, really important in between your skincare steps, you're letting your skin and your face just breathe a little bit so each product can really do what it needs to do. I need like a fancy fan. I'm going to use an Every Delivery paper instead. That'll do, won't it? Now, a product that I have been absolutely loving is the Skin Rocks Antioxidant Face Serum. What I will be honest with by saying is that I opted for fragrance free on all of Skin Rocks products. This don't smell too fancy, okay? It doesn't smell that great, but what it does to my skin, the difference in my skin since using it and the way it makes my like skin feel overrides the scent. Maybe I should just try the scented version and that would be nice. So it's like a cream serum like this. This is also another really good tip for skincare products. You don't need to rub it all over your hand because you're wasting product. You're not going to use your whole hands like that. So try and focus on keeping it to the ends of your fingertips. I honestly just find this serum so hydrating and like really comforting on the skin. It just feels gorgeous. And another little thing I've been doing on these hotter days, which are few and far between, if you're in the UK you will hard relate to the struggle, is I'll actually skip moisturiser and go straight to SPF. My moisturiser of choice at the moment is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, more so for makeup base, but for a look like this where I want it to feel light because it's really hot, I will pretty much use my SPF as my moisturiser. And this one from Ultraviolet Supreme Screen Hydrating Facial Skin Screen something is just insane. It's just got the most gorgeous, almost like pearlescent, I don't really know how much of that you can see, but, and that actually was 2 pumps and it wasn't enough SPF, so I need to put some more on my, I just love how easy this product is. It's not greasy. It sinks into the skin, which is so rare to find with an SPF, and it acts as the most beautiful makeup base, and the scent is just holiday. I'm going to use the Beauty Pie Luminous Mineral Skin Tint. I love everything about this product and I have been reaching for it a lot. One thing I love is this little applicator, the nib. You can use however much you want. You don't need a lot because again, we're keeping this light, we're keeping it easy, we're keeping it fresh. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what this terrible Brooklyn accent I keep trying to attempt is. I dug through all of my brushes the other day and like refound so many of my favourites, and it reminded me that this Spectrum Katie Jane Hughes collaboration was quite possibly one of the best of all time. I'm going to start pressing, patting and swiping this into my skin, but I want to make sure I'm leaving this area free of product. There is no need to power your under eye with shitloads of makeup products when you don't need that much coverage there, you don't need that much product there. That is definitely what makes it crease, and it's a very delicate area, so you just don't need it. And as you can see, I'm just kind of like pressing it into the skin rather than like being too firm and dragging it far. If I drag it in longer strokes, I keep it towards the end of the bristles, and if I'm pressing more into the skin, I'll use more of the actual brush. I don't know about you, but in days like this, I really want my skin to feel like skin. I don't actually want to feel like I have makeup on my face. And then I'm taking the Vive Beauty Blender, which is my new favourite, by the way. I'm really into this flat edge, and I'm just going to press over the top of that. It helps to just take away excess product, really make sure it's all blended nicely into the skin. And again, because I don't want to be feeling product on my skin, this helps with that feeling. And there you can see just a really nice subtle amount of coverage and base under on top of my natural skin. This has been a favourite of mine for a very long time. This is the Vive Modern Radiance Concealer, and this is in the shade Light 1. Now, when I put my under eye concealer on, again, I'm not like doing some sort of big swipe, especially for a look like this. I'm just doing a dab on the inner corner and maybe 2 dabs on the outer corner. Now, for your concealer brush, you kind of want it to be long and bristly, like so. This is a really old brush. I don't even know if they do this anymore. And what I do with the brush is I start off by dispersing the product. So not trying to shape where it goes, but just sort of dragging it down and inwards. And then I'll shorten my brush strokes and just go back and forth a little bit more. Same with the outer edge. So just sort of start by dispersing the product first. And then what I really think is one of the best makeup tips of all time is keeping this line here straight. So make sure your brush strokes are just really straight back and forth rather than going up into this space, because we're going to use that ledge of concealer to kind of shape and elongate our natural eye shape and when we put a bit of bronzer on around the eye socket. Next up, even though it's a really sort of natural look, one of my favourite things to do is contour using the Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. This is in the shade Light Medium, and I just feel like on my skin tone it gives the most beautiful feeling of like being in the sun, and also I really enjoy the way that it shapes my face. And what I'll do is start off in the temples of my head up here, and then I will place it just hugging the bottom of my cheekbone about half the way down to the middle of my cheek. And then I literally just make sure that when I'm pressing into the skin, I am just using the brush and pressing back and forth. I'm not rubbing the product, I'm not moving it across the skin, I'm just pressing up and down until it's completely diffused and completely blurred into beautiful shaping of the face. This is the sort of makeup tip that I do when I'm wearing a heavier makeup look, but I also really just love how it looks on my skin, and that is to reverse contour with a highlighting concealer and define the structure of what we've done with the sculpting stick. And what I do by that is just take the concealer and go just below my contour shade and create like this straight line, and that's just going to help to define the shape of my cheekbones. So I'll just draw a straight line all the way down and then drag the product down a little bit just to make sure, just for that extra coverage as well. And then you want to take your foundation brush, and again you're just pressing in. Don't be alarmed, don't be scared, trust the process. It doesn't have to be a perfect neat line by any means. Adding that definition into your cheekbones. You want to get your beauty blender and then just press on top and sort of blend the two together. You can kind of see the difference. And then call me crazy, but contour and bronzer are two different things. I would say that contour is to define your face shape and bronzer is to add warmth and colour to your face. So I will use the same brush that I blended the contour in with, and I'm using the Refi Cream Bronzer. It's literally, I've hit pan on it, I love it so much. And I think again this is just down to it being the most beautiful shade on my skin tone. And I kind of go back over where I went with the contour stick, but in a wider area. So I'll go on top of the contour and then slightly disperse it wider, and then keep it really high, slightly above the contour on the cheeks, down and into the centre of my face. And then another place I absolutely love to put bronzer is across the bridge of my nose, especially in the summer, because I feel like it just screams kissed by the sun. And then I will always take my foundation brush, or you can use your sponge, and just press on. People think that MAC Fix Plus is a setting spray, and it isn't, but it contains an ingredient called glycerin, and what that does is kind of help to combine all of those products on your skin. It kind of feels like what it does is it sets all of the makeup back into your skin, so it doesn't feel like makeup nor look like makeup, and it's just all a bit more together. Okay, whilst that is drying, I am going to take this little fluffy brush. It's called 219 Small Eyeshadow Blender by Vive, and we are going to contour our eyes a little bit with this bronzer. This is the YSL All Hours Hype Bronze. Again, I just absolutely love the shade on me. It's actually shade 4, which is far too dark, but I think the tone of it is so gorgeous that I don't know, just love using it. So what I'm doing is taking it just above the socket line and going back and forth in the natural shape of my socket line, and then when it gets to the outer edge, I'm tapering that up and out and keeping the brush exactly straight in the same way that we kept the concealer brush straight, really elongating the eye shape. Don't be afraid to go right up towards your temples as well. It's you can never kind of take it too high or too wide, in my opinion. And then I'm taking my absolute could not live without brush from a company called My Kitco Pro, and it's called My Precise Crease. Taking a little bit of the same bronzer, shaking off the excess, and just running that underneath my lower lash line. You want to slightly join it up with the shape that you've done underneath. Again, always when you get to that outer edge of your eye, keeping that brush stroke straight forward and back in a line rather than buffing it and blowing it up into the shape. And then I'll always sort of flick between my concealer brush and the brush that's applying the bronzer, just to make sure everything's really nice and blended in. And that for me is like all I ever need for a quick everyday eye. That little bit of bronzer, it makes so much difference, but it takes very minimal effort. Next up, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette to set my under eye. I'm using this middle colour here, and this brush also is my favourite under eye brush. It's called the setting brush. And what I like to do is to get the brush on its flat surface and sort of just rub it into the product so the whole of the brush and all of the bristles are really well covered. Tap off the excess, and then I will start under my eye and just press in. I think in general, I really try to avoid dragging product across my face, and I much prefer to press and gently tap it in. So I'll take it under my eye, slightly inside on the inside of my nose. I will pop a bit in the centre of my forehead, down the centre of my nose, and then I like to pop a bit on my chin, just to really kind of mattify in the areas that I tend to get a bit shinier. You could definitely go for a brown mascara for a look like this, but I am loving the new Wonder Volume Mascara XXL from Clarins. I just absolutely love Clarins mascaras. I think they're so underrated, and the brush is just a bit of me. So my biggest tip with mascara is when you're applying it to have a little handheld mirror and look down into the mirror whilst keeping your eyes open. I think you have so much less chance of catching and like getting it all over your skin. And I'll wiggle at the root and then drag up to the ends. I like to alternate eyes, so I give like each eye a little bit of drying time per layer, and then you can just go back in, you build it up as much as you like so. I will do bottom mascara, but I like to wait a little bit. A blusher that I absolutely love for this sort of look is also from Refi, and it's in the shade Rose. It's just the most gorgeous baby pink colour, which isn't a shade of blush that I thought I liked, but every time I use it, I end up loving it. So I'll just press my brush into the cream product, make sure it's fully covered. And again, the same notion of just sort of pressing it into the skin, quite high up onto your cheekbones as well. I also love to put a little bit of that over the bridge of my nose as well. You can build that up as much as you like. Then for bottom mascara, I have been using this as my bottom lash mascara for about 100,000 million years, and it's MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. The reason why is because the brush is so tiny, and I feel like I never ever regret wearing this on my bottom lashes. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't transfer, and I just love it. I literally just tap the base of my lashes, and that is enough for me. For my lips, I am going to use one of the new lip oil balms by Clarins, which I am fully obsessed with. I really love the pale pink one, but I want to try cherry today because I feel like if you can't add a bit of colour in summer, when can you? You will know, if you've been following me for a while, how obsessed I am, not only with Clarins, but with the Clarins lip oil. And this is like a baby of Clarins lip oil and the most delicious, comforting, hydrating lip balm you've ever had. They had a really exciting night together, they made a baby, and this is what they produced. I also think the packaging is chic AF. Oh wow, it really is quite pigmented. That's so nice. I always put it in the centre and then use my finger to drag it out. And another thing that I have been using consistently is the Foxy Brown lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. When I do lip liner, I like to do it in tiny dashes and then sort of blur that into one line rather than trying to go full on and using like the force of your hand to draw a line on. I like to start at the top of the Cupid's bow and just dash all the way down along the line of my lips, slightly over, and I keep my mouth closed so that it keeps my lips taut. And then when I get to the inner corners, when I get to the outer corners, I just open my mouth slightly so that you can fully get in there, and then you can either use your finger or a brush, and I just like to blur the two together. And then to finish off, I'm going to be using the Beauty Pie Collagen Lip Oil. It's more of a lip gloss, Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil, so it's kind of the two together. And then just go on top. These are, again, such gorgeous lip glosses. And my favourite thing about lip gloss is if you make sure that you take the lip gloss right to the edge of your lip line, that part of it is going to help the light to reflect, which also gives the illusion that your lips are bigger, and that's delicious. And then to finish off and to set it all into place, I'm going to be using the Vive Invisiveil setting spray. And then just want to do your neck check that it's all blended down your neck, and then there we go. Let me know what you think. If you like, You could literally do this look for so many things. A bridal, a really summer bridal look abroad. You could do it as a wedding guest. You could do it as just your normal day-to-day. I feel like it's such an adaptable look. It's not the real scale of natural where you're just sort of dabbing a bit of concealer here, there and everywhere. You are sort of putting a base on, but it's just keeping it all really light. I really, really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. And if you didn't, you can let me know that as well. That's okay. And I will see you next week.